Okay, great. Let's get started. This webinar is being recorded. Today, I'm going to be showing how the HPD public repository is going to change to support the version 3.0 that will be available the last week of September. The standard is soon to be published on our website, but it was approved by the technical committee last month. And I am Mayeli Marcano, technical manager at HPDC. Any questions, you can reach out after the webinar. So we have presented 3 webinars that we are going to repeat in September. 2 weeks ago, Corey White, our technical director, presented the updates to the standard in detail. And last week, I presented how the HPD Builder is changing to support the 3.0 standard. So if you want to learn about the details of the updates and how the Builder is changing, please visit our YouTube channel and watch the recording. Again, we're going to be repeating these webinars in September with updated functionality in the builder and the repository. So what are the changes in the repository for 3.0? We're adding 2 more filters to the HPDC dashboard. One for product type, which is an updated field in 3.0. And we have a segmented filter for GSPI 6 classes as per request from users. And the big change is we're adding an interactive version of the HPDs. And this is connected to the HPD prechecks and the EU HPD. Again, if you want to understand what is behind the EU HPD, the product type update and other updates, please refer to the previous webinars. So the filters in the repository dashboards will look like this. So next to the CSI section, there will be a product type filter. And the idea is to be able to search by both a combination or just individually. And the product types have also synonyms that have been added in the back so that if you, other classifications are, even if they're not displaying in text, if they are searched by the synonym, then the right product type will be displayed. And I will show you how the search works in the dashboards. The GSPA 6 classes is an extension of the existing builder for additional listings free. And we were asked to just add the details, and I'm going to go to show you where this data is selected from. I'm trying to exit and it doesn't let me do it. So in an HPD, 6 classes are reported under additional listings, and in the repository filter, what it indicates is that this notification is not present in the HPD, in any of the substances, materials, polymers in the HPD. And because 6 will be part of the 3.0 since the beginning, it's not like in 2.3 the 6 classes came some months after, then we can evaluate all HPDs published on the 3.0, because even if the substance is undisclosed, the repository reads this content and is able to filter by and calculate determine whether this notification is present in the HPD. So if the notification is not present, the product is considered, or the HPD is considered GSPI free. Now we're segmenting. So now you will be able to filter by free of GSPI antimicrobials, PFAS, some solvents, etc. Same applies to cradle, but this was already part of 2.3 filter. So those are the updates in the filter. And now I'm going to show you what's new regarding the interactive HPD. And I'm going to go from the simple search, which is what everyone has access to. This is not changing, only the 3.0s will start coming here. And members can access the repository dashboards by using the members credentials or their email address, their corporate email address, and this always takes a little bit to load. And now, and this is something that anyone can see today, there is a new column for HPD and PDF. We're still reconsidering the naming of these columns, but there is a new column, and this column will take you to the interactive version of the HPD. In the HPD Open Standard, two formats have been now approved, which is the PDF that we have been using for the last 12 years, plus now this interactive version. And it's possible to view this for, oops, hold on a second, sorry about that. So it's possible to view the data for previous HPDs, previous versions, because this is a functionality implemented in the repository, but it's going to be officially live with the release of 3.0. So what is different is we have simplified the way the data is displayed, and we have added context to each of the sections. All the fields have the explanation of what they are, which comes from the standard text that is present in the PDF, but with a simpler description in some cases, so it makes sense. We have added links, for example, in this case, to green screen scores, if someone wants to understand more about what the score means. And we added a new table, hazard types, that is grouping substances under the specific hazards. So the user can see which hazards are, and then which substances have these hazards associated. So it's something that it's a data that is visible in the HPD now. It's just the way that we are presenting it helps the user understand the substances that contribute to each of the hazards or associated to each of the hazards. We also have a simple content inventory table with the green screen, the roles, the weight, and the cast numbers. And also have the rest of the data that is in the PDF. So for now, we focus on just recreating the PDF on this format and adding the tooltips and adding the new tables. But the goal is based on your feedback to add more context to it, to add more connections to, for example, the Pharos chemical library. So users, if they have access to Pharos, they can see the chemical profile right away, and other information that will be relevant to the user to make HPD more easy to read. So from here, the user will be able to download the HPD as well, and they will be able to add this HPD to the download queues because it's part of the repository. And we also have, and hold on a second, I'm trying to load here. So let me go back to table. So from here, you can select the HPD and add it to the download queues, download the zip file with all the PDF, which is a functionality we have had for a long time. But we also develop an API that is open to organizations that have internal data management systems to submit documentation to projects, to lead projects, to well projects, and they can pull the data from HPDs through an API without the need of downloading a PDF. So that's something that if you know of any organization, if you are interested in connecting to this repo API, we wanted to let you know that it's available and ready for implementation. Additionally, the interactive HPDs is connected to the HPD pre-checks. And right now, the users can see the alignment with other programs. So for example, Bora's chemical of concern. And in here, the user for every HPD. Not all the 10,000 HPDs fall into the evaluation scope because it depends on how the data was reported. But many, at least more than half, certainly can be evaluated against these programs, and actually those that are more recent. So the user can learn whether the HPD is aligned or not with, in this case, BORA chemical of concern. There are 3 levels of alignment with BORA's chemical of concern. And in the case of this HPD, the user can learn that it's only aligned with the required level. And the reason is because the threshold does not meet the requirements and not free of all the chemical list that BORA established in their program. So in this case, this product has PVC, one chemical under the PVC, CPVC list, and it's this chemical, well, PVC, and this is why it's not aligned with the program. And this is a little bit, I mean, it's very table-like, and I know it might be a little hard to read, but this is all created with Power BI, and it's just managing the whole data set from HPDs, and we are working towards making even more simple to read and developing a document that explains all this logic, because it's not easy and there are a lot of details. So with the 3.0, you should update, you should be able to see all the logic and all the configuration behind the filters and for the pre-check. But in addition to BORA chemical of concern, now we also have Green Seal, and it has been updated with recent chemical hazards list provided by this organization. So for paints and coatings, this is a great way to check your eligibility to get Green Seal certification. It's the same way. So whether if it's green, it means that the HPD meets the requirement and is aligned with what they need. And if not, in this case, the threshold was not met. We also have the Parkinson wheel precautionary list. Hold on a second. And we have 3 levels for Parkinson wheel: good, better, best, same way. And for reset, it's only the requirement to have a published HPD. So in addition to each program pre-check requirements, users can see here whether the specific HPD is free of the additional listings. This is already in details for each of the 6 classes, the red list, and Parkinson wheel. So how do you get here again? Because from the interactive version, you click the pre-check programs. Here you will see the lead pre-check and then click the pre-check HPD for other programs. We're hoping to add other programs, but for now we have all those 4. So in addition to the program pre-checks, the interactive HPD, there will be also a connection to the EU HPD, which I'm not ready to demo yet, but I'm going to review how this is going to look. So HPD builder users, manufacturers will be able to decide whether they want to publish a standard HPD or both, standard or EU and EU HPD, or just the EU HPDs. So there is an option now to publish a standalone EU HPD, and this will be generated in the builder and sent down to the repository as a standalone HPD. And the report will be also interactive in the builder, in the repo. So from here, there will be a click so the user can see the data. Again, it's the manufacturer who decides whether they want to publish their EU version or not. But if it is published, then the user will be able to also visualize and download the EU HPD from this interactive version. The same way, we're going to leave the PDF access here from the table. The idea, as I said, is to improve the interactive version to make it more friendly with users and easier to understand. But for quick access, the PDF would remain active, and the EU HPD, we still are we'll see, because we're going to do a pilot with the first manufacturers that want to generate this EU HPD. We'll see how the volume goes. Maybe we will also add a column here depending on how it is adopted. For now, it's going to be accessed just from the interactive HPD. And it was short. It's a short overview. Those are all the updates that we're going to have to support the 3.0. I am going to check if anyone has any questions or would like me to demo any of the functionality from the dashboards. One thing is interactive HPDs will only be available to members because they are part of the HPDC repository dashboards. So all members of HPDC, as I mentioned before, can access the dashboard with the members login. If you know that your organization is a member and you cannot access the dashboards, just reach out. We will sort that out. But yes, you will need access to the repository dashboard to access the interactive HPD. Let me see if there are other questions. I don't see other questions. And I would like to close with an invitation to visit the HPD collaborative website and go to manufacturers, Material Handling Suite, HPD Open Standard, and download the change document with all the details for what's being changed and why for the version 3.0. Thank you again for your attention and have a great rest of your day.